The most disgusting moment on Hoarders.
The main problem was she did away with garbage service. And the only problem with that is, what are you going to do with the garbage?
I've never smelt anything like it my entire life.
How could she keep those cats in those conditions?
This isn't about picking and choosing what to keep. It's shoveling it out into barrels, bringing it out onto the front, and dumping it out to just rifle through and see if there's any trinkets to be salvaged.
What was once a home overtaken by 40 years worth of garbage? Shanna is one for the history books. Will, Shanna's brother-in-law, tries to explain the shock when he first walked into her house. He says it was filled with disgust.
My name is Shanna. I can definitely handle dirt. I don't have a problem with that.
My name is Will, and Shanna is my sister-in-law. When I walked in for the first time, it was like a shock. Every nook, every cranny is just filled with disgust.
Shanna's siblings, Sean and Nola, explained that the city had to fine Shanna $250 per day until she decided to clean up. Can't blame the neighbor though. That house was a threat to national security. I would have sued her for threatening my right to live.
I'm Sean, and Shanna is my sister.
I'm Nola, Shanna's sister.
I don't think anything would honestly change if it wasn't for the city posting a thing on the door.
Sean tells us Shanna was always dirty, but things got much worse when she moved in with her mom, who was also a hoarder. Pretty scary thought.
But the hoarding, really kicked in when she moved in with my mom.
Nola and Sean explains that their mom's death didn't do Shanna any good. Shanna also admits she was devastated to lose the connection she had with her mom. I wonder if this is what's making me cry. Or my eyes are just burning from the toxic cat urine.
I think it's hard because we lived together and our lives were entwined with one another.
I think that house very well contributed to my mom's death.
The brave cleaning specialist Matt Paxton and his cleaning crew finally arrive for the greatest test of their lives. And of course, leading the way is a biohazard crew.
On half of the yard. We've got bio guys on the other side of the yard.
Walk around.
Dr. Robin Zasio, a licensed clinical psychologist, tries to handle Shanna as she slowly gets aggressive and even tries to eat perfectly good, moldy bread. Dr. Zasio explains it's so contaminated that they had to start with a biohazard crew, which usually comes in last.
We're going to check every single one of these expiration dates, or do we let it all go? Covered in mold.
It might be a little bit moldy because I don't have a freezer.
We started with a biohazard crew.
No, I understand that.
99% of the time, the biohazard crew comes on the final day when we've cleaned up.
Dr. Zasio explains to Shanna's family that Shanna is no longer able to live alone and also books her a lifetime's worth of therapy sessions. I'd recommend Dr. Now's reality checks as well.
She's not capable of living alone. Not because she is a compulsive hoarder, it's because cognitively, she can't live alone. We've got to figure out a plan B.
They all realize that building a new house would cost much less than trying to save the one Shanna destroyed. They all agree the house is uninhabitable, and it's a happy ending as Shanna thanks the cleaning crew.
You could build this home for about $145,000. A brand new home would be less than trying to save this.
Obviously, the house is uninhabitable.
It's definitely a happier ending than I was expecting.
A cheapskate and a hoarder? Come on, Dick, what's next? You leave the toilet seat up? Dick claims not to think he's a hoarder. Bro, you shop at the dollar store and your house is full of cheap trash. You're worse than a hoarder.
No, I don't think I'm a hoarder. I think I had plans and I never got around to do it, so it sat there.
Sandy, Dick's significant other, explained she lost her home to Dick, not knowing he was a hoarder.
I am Sandy, and Dick is my significant other. I didn't know Dick had a problem of hoarding. It was maybe a year before he moved in with me. He started bringing stuff over.
Kim, Sandy's daughter-in-law, reveals that this is the worst house she has ever been in. She reveals they can't shower, watch TV, or even sit and eat. I don't think that's even a house.
I do crime scene investigation for a living, and this is the worst house I've ever been in. They're in essence homeless. They can't sit down and eat a meal in their home. They can't watch TV. They can't take a shower. There's nothing they can do that normal people do in a house.
Sandy's son Mark, along with Kim, explained that Sandy has always been too passive and Dick took advantage of that. Sandy says she loves her home and wants to stay there forever.
I'm Sandy's son. My mom is a very passive woman, and she just let things run all over her.
Sandy does not tell Dick no. I think he likes to be very controlling. Dick just did what he wanted to.
I love my home. I want to stay there the rest of my life.
The cavalry arrives as Dorothy Behringer and her cleaning crew come to take care of Dick's cheap mess.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We're bringing in shovels and barrels to work in this. This isn't about picking and choosing what to keep. It's shoveling it out into barrels and dumping it out.
Half of the family is in tears as Dick couldn't care less about how they feel. Dick proceeds to threaten to leave town, not caring what his wife thinks. Definitely living up to his name.
This family is torn up, and Dick doesn't care. I don't know if you can see Michelle over here.
Yeah, I know, it's hard.
She's crying.
Yeah, so.
Sandy seems to have had enough of Dick's drama, as she says she doesn't love him anymore and he always hurts her.
He could walk away and I would be happy. I don't need him in my life. There's no love when somebody hurts you all the time.
Dick finally gets up when he sees the only thing he didn't get from the dollar store about to be thrown out, his jewelry. Sandy's family and Dr. Zasio try to give him a wake-up call, but he still sees no reason to care and calls Michelle's tears nice.
He's been moping.
Oh, that's a airbrush compressor.
And suddenly he's out of his chair because he wants to see what's in the truck.
I'm not sure, Dick, that you're really understanding the situation.
She wouldn't need the apartment if you didn't do it to this house.
Oh, them chairs are nice. They're really impressive.
Dr. Zasio leaves Dick with two choices, the jewelry or Sandy. Dick says he has no problem living underground with just his jewelry.
I think, Dick, if this stuff is so much more important to you, then I think you're going to have to live with this stuff.
Well, I will. I'll put it underground and I'll live with it.
The house is deemed to be beyond saving, and Dick, after being so nonchalant and reluctant, finally wants to move in with Sandy. Unfortunately for him, she is having none of it, as she says she is tired of him. Dick is fine with her decision and accepts his fate. Hold that L, Dick.
Well, Sandy, I'm willing to do everything I can, try to straighten up my act.
I can't do it anymore. That means I can't live with him.
All right.
7 cats, horse figurines, dolls, ornaments. Michelle, aka Mike, is definitely one of the dirtiest and creepiest hoarders of all time. Michelle explains that all her cats poop and pee wherever they want, and she doesn't bother cleaning it up. Goosebumps already.
I have 7 cats. I had boxes out for them, but then it got to the point where I couldn't get to the boxes to clean them. Cats would just move from spot to spot, defecating and urinating.
Judy, Mike's sister, tells us the house smells worse than it looks. I'll take your word for it, Judy. Mike also reveals she has a bladder control problem and just leaves her used diapers piled up in the bathroom. Disgusting!
I have a bladder control problem, and I just started leaving them in the bathroom.
I'm Judy, and Mike is my sister. Mike's house, it smelled so bad. There was a mountain of diapers.
Russell, Mike's nephew, explains that a morgue smells much better than Mike's house. I did not need to know that. Mike is unbelievable.
I'm Russell, and Mike is my aunt. I'm a retired firefighter. I've smelled going into houses where there's been dead bodies, and I don't think I've smelled anything as bad as what I smelled.
It seems Mike's other sister Joni was also a hoarder, and things got bad when she moved in with Mike years ago. Mike explains that Joni's unexpected death left her lost.
So now you have 2 hoarders together.
Because they were just so wrapped up in their lives of shopping and hoarding.
She had a pulmonary embolism. I felt lost. I just didn't care.
We all thank the Lord as Mike actually agrees to get help from some cleaning specialists. Still think they should have at least called NASA and the CIA, but okay. Matt Paxton explains that the house is extremely dangerous, not just structurally, but environmentally.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Matt Paxton. I'm an extreme cleaning specialist. This house is extremely dangerous, not structurally, but environmentally.
The vet goes in to save those 3 poor cats and also finds 2 dead cats. Mike proceeds to pet the rotten corpse of her old cat, Gracie. Can people even watch this with a straight face?
It's dangerous. We've got to get the cats out first. We've got our vet here to help us get the cats out.
We found 3 living cats that have been retrieved. I found 2 dead cats in the house. Fleas and maggots.
Mike's finding Gracie, which is her favorite cat, and she's petting it. She's completely disconnected from, first of all, how dangerous this is, what this could infect her with.
They find another dead cat in the house, which leaves Mike surprised, saying she didn't even know the cats were still there. Really? How could she not see them in trash pile 13? What a surprise.
Ooh, what is that?
That is a cat.
Oh, that's no. Zack.
Who is it?
Zack.
Zack. Z-A-C-K.
I knew the cats were gone, but I didn't know that they were in the house.
Russell gets annoyed by the unending pile of trash he keeps seeing in the house. There seems to be a lot of pent-up frustration towards Mike by everyone as they clean up her eternal mess. I wouldn't even get in that house without Tony Stark's Mark 47 suit, and maybe an Omnitrix from Ben 10.
I don't give a about anything in that house. Would probably take a bomb to that house right now and wouldn't give a rat's ass about any little trinket, any little collectible.
Mike claims to not know how things got out of hand as Judy immediately yells at her that things have been out of hand for over 5 years. I mean, 30 tons of trash doesn't just magically appear and pile up in one day, does it? Get real, Mike.
I wanted to do this? No! But you let it happen. I don't know why.
Matt deems the house uninhabitable as Mike and her cats, well, the ones alive, would have to move. Hope they can get those cats a better owner that won't kill them with their own poop. Thank God it's over.
And this house is disgusting. It's not really a home anymore. It's just a really gross storage bin.